This is going to be a Vinyasa sequence. It's about 60 minutes long. It's going to be twisting and folding. It's inspired by my time with the Kula Yoga Project and also Katona Yoga. We're going to start seated, facing forward towards the front of your mat. Bend your knees a lot and bring the back of your heels on the ground so the bottoms of your feet face forward. Big bend to your knees. I like to grab my butt and pull my butt back so I really find my sitting bones. And then reach your arms up towards the ceiling above your head and grab opposite elbow tips with your right forearm in front of your left forearm. Use your palms to pull your elbows up and lift your heart up towards the ceiling so you have a subtle back bend, specifically in your upper back. Try and keep the back bend for as long as you can as you slowly fold down over your legs. Eventually you'll fold and the back will round. Plug your armpits into your kneecaps. Rest your forearms, keep holding your elbows, but rest your forearms on your shins. And see if you can wiggle your bum back a little bit, keeping the contact of your stomach on your thighs. You can even walk your elbows forward, like kind of walk them forward towards the front. So you get longer in your spine, but you keep the contact. Front of legs, front of belly. Even your chest kind of is making contact with your knees. And then let your arms slip underneath your legs from the sides. Have your forearms facing up, your palms facing up, and fit your forearms right into your shins, your lower legs, your calves. So your elbows are hooked around the back of your calves. And then feel like you're pressing the elbows up so the tops of your tibias go forward, and see if you can wiggle your bum back a little bit further, but maintain the contact of the front of your thighs and the front of your belly and chest. And then listen closely. You're going to take your arms and cross them underneath your legs. So your wrists will cross, and then flip your palms down so you grab the front of opposing shins. So your right grabs your left and your left grabs your right. You'll feel like you're all hooked in there like a pretzel. And then you can even wiggle your feet a little further back. Keep the connection of your legs and your belly. And then reach your right arm back behind you. Keep everything else the same. Keep holding your right shin with your left hand. Pull your heart forward towards the front of the room and try and outstretch your right arm as far back as it goes. And at the same time as your arm goes back, stretch your chest forward, your head forward, and start to turn around all that space. Find a nice big twist. And then turn your palm forward. I guess it's up in this orientation. Watch the right wrist and reach your right arm slow-mo all the way forward. Grab the outside of your left foot with your right hand. And then reach your left arm back towards the space behind you. It's like you're doing front stroke. You can keep your right knee and right armpit connected together. Outstretch your left arm as far back as it goes. Pull the heart up and forward as far as that goes. Then flip your left palm up. Turn from your armpit, so it's really externally rotating from the glenohumeral joint. Watch the wrist with your eyes, so find a drishti on your arms as you reach your left arm all the way forward and grab the outside of your right foot with your left hand. Swing your right arm back behind you. This time different. Keep holding your foot and slowly tilt back so the foot comes right up off the ground. Press through your sitting bones, get super tall, lift your heart, and turn your body towards the right. You could straighten both your legs if you want. Press your foot and your hand against one another and notice that that gives you more twist. Keep holding your foot, look forward. Figure 4 your outer right ankle to the front of your left thigh. Take your hands back behind you and slide your left foot down onto the floor so the bottom of the foot lands. The closer it is, the bigger stretch you'll get. Tuck your right toes towards your right ankle and push your right ankle into your thigh. So you stretch your outer leg and at the same time you contract it. And then you can move your figure 4 from side to side, left to right. And then the next time that you bring your figure 4 legs all the way to the right, just let that happen. So your inner left shin goes on the floor and your outer right knee lands. And then turn your upper body to face towards the space behind you and place your forearms onto the ground. Press your forearms down, lift your right belly up and in, and then turn your left ribs to your right ribs. So you're essentially twisting actively to the right. Get as long as you can in the spine. It'll give you more room to actually revolve. And then straighten both your arms, turn around towards the front of your mat again, and come back up with your legs. Place your right foot down, stretch your legs out in front of you a little bit more, and we'll do all that on the other side. So big old bend to your knees, find your sitting bones. If you want to get your butt back behind you, you can grab your bum, pull it back with your arms. Then reach your arms up towards the ceiling, grab opposite elbows, and have your right forearm in front of your left forearm. Do a back bend, pull yourself up first so there's space, pull your elbows way up, and then start to tilt your chest up. And then try and maintain the back bend for as long as you can. As you slowly fold down, you'll eventually round your back. Bring your armpits so they fit right into the balls of your knees. And if you want to wiggle your butt back, just keep your thighs and your stomach together. That's why we have bent knees. We're trying to go for the nice fold in the spine, the flexion of the spine. So it's like a really modified Paschimottanasana. And then take your arms underneath you from the sides, let them slip underneath. Fit your forearms right into your calves, right into your shins. So your forearms and your shins are kind of same. Let them fit. Press your elbows up into your calves. And think of driving the top of your thighs down. So right at the top of the femurs, that goes downwards. Wiggle your butt back if you have the space for it. Stay connected. And then with your arms underneath your legs, cross your wrists, then flip your palms down and grab opposite shins, as low as they can go, but it could be like mid-shin if you wanted to. Fold into yourself, wiggle your butt back, pull yourself forward in your upper body, make a good fold. This time we'll start with the left arm, so stretch your left arm back behind you, chest goes forward, arm stretches back. Externally rotate your left arm so the palm flips up. Watch with your eyes as you reach your left arm all the way forward. Grab the outside of your right foot. Swing your right arm all the way back. Pause for a second. Stretch the right arm really wide. Pull the heart nice and open. And then watch your right arm. Externally rotate it. Reach your arm all the way forward and grab the outside of your left foot. Sneak your left arm back behind you. Lean back and lift your left leg up into the air. Ground your two sitting bones evenly. Lift your heart nice and broad. Push your hand and your foot that you're holding and together and allow that to turn you more. So that resistance gives you more turn. And if you like straight legs, then go for straight legs. If you like bent knees, then go for bent knees. And then keep holding your foot, look forward. Figure 4 your outer left ankle to the front of your thigh. Take your hands behind you and slip your right foot close to your body, as close as you want. Closer, the bigger stretch. Further away, a little less stretch. Tuck your left ankle to the left. Press your outer left ankle into the front of your right thigh. And you'll feel this stretch differently. And then you can move and find different angles. Move the figure 4 legs to the left and to the right. Vary up the movement a little bit. And then the next time you bring your legs over to the left, just let your legs continue going over all the way to the floor. So your inner right shin lands, your outer left thigh lands. Turn towards the back of the room and place your forearms down to the floor with your elbows pretty much stacked right underneath your shoulders. And then press your hands down, your forearms down. Bring the left side of your belly up and in, and then actively turn your right torso to your left torso. Make it an active twist. And then straighten both your arms and turn towards the front part of the room. Let your legs come back. Cross your legs out in front of you. Roll over your knees. If you need to bring your bum to one side and come into down dog that way, absolutely fine. Do what works for your body. Bend your knees a little bit and lift your heels up. And then push your hands down strongly. And with your knees bent, lift your bum up as high as it goes. Find a nice crescendo in your spine to find a back bend. So I don't always bend my knees in down dog, but today I'm going to. Need a little bit more of a room and maneuverability in my upper body. And then walk your hands back to your feet. Reach your arms up towards the ceiling and come into a chair pose. Reach your right arm underneath your left arm. Find eagle arms, and then lift your elbows up as high as you can get them. Keep a back bend for as long as you can, and slowly fold down over your legs and hook your armpits right into your kneecaps. And then keep your arms crossed, but undo your wrists and grab opposite outer ankles. Right grabs left, left grabs right with your hands. And then reach your right arm up towards the ceiling. Keep your left knee hugged into your armpit, and see if you can straighten your right leg. And then pull your heart forward. Turn the left side of your torso to the right side of your torso. Really reach your right arm up as high as it goes. Turn your right palm forward. Reach the right arm all the way forward towards the front of the room and re-grab the outer left ankle. And then bend both your knees. Then roll yourself up and come up into a chair pose just for a second. Push into your left foot and lift your right leg up into the air. Come into tree. Bring the sole of your right foot to the inside of your left thigh. And you can take your hands to your heart. You can reach your arms up towards the ceiling. I'm going to go up. Push substantially into your left foot. Find a root system. And hug your outer left hip really strongly to the right. Another cue for that is to press your left thigh into your right foot. And then imagine you had a right tailbone. And wrap your outer right tailbone down. And then see if you can widen your right knee as far as you can to the side. And then keep everything the same, but just bring your right knee to hover out in front of you. Reach your left arm forward and your right arm back behind you. Take your left palm and place it to the outside of your right knee. And push your hand and your knee against one another. And turn yourself a little bit more deeply. Remember, lifting in your chest. Super duper tall, lift up into your head, and notice you can turn around more length. Chair pose, bend your knees, reach your arms up towards the ceiling. Take your left arm underneath your right arm, eagle your arms. Lift your elbows up as high as they can go, lift your chest up, make a crescendo, make a back bend, and then fold down and bring your armpits right into your kneecaps. Keep your arms crossed, but under your wrists, and the palms grab opposite outer ankles. Right grabs left, left grabs right. Keep your right knee hugged into your armpit. Twist your left arm up towards the ceiling. Twist your torso to the left. Start to straighten your left leg, but keep your right knee and your armpit connected. And then back bend. Pull the heart as far forward as you can. Pull your head forward and turn. Twist. Revolve. And then watch the palm turn, reach it all the way forward, grab the outside of your right ankle with your left hand, bend both your knees. Keep the knees bent, roll yourself up and come into a chair pose. Push into your right foot, lift your left leg up, and then come into tree. Bring the sole of your left foot to the inside of your right thigh somewhere nice and high. And then arms can go hips, heart, towards the sky. Push into your right foot, so much that you feel a lift upwards with the rest of your body. And then hug your outer right hip in, wrap your outer left tailbone down, so to speak, and stretch your inner left groin towards the side, so the knee physically widens in space. Keep everything the same, but just let your left knee hover out in front of you and turn to your left. Right arm forward, left arm back. Take your right palm and place it to the outside of your left knee and press your hand in your knee and your knee into your hand. Chair pose. Land your feet, reach your arms up towards the ceiling and breathe in. And then fold over your legs and breathe out. We'll come forward into a plank and take an inhale. And then bend your knees and go past Chaturanga Dandasana as you exhale. Go into a low cobra, pull your heart forward and up and off the floor and inhale. Move past the tabletop, go into a down dog and breathe out. And then go forward into a plank again. This time, turn your heels all the way to the right. So you roll on the outside of your right foot and the inside of your left foot. And then reach your left arm up towards the ceiling. Extend your bottom leg, which is your right leg out in front of you, into a fallen triangle, and stretch your top arm forward towards the front of the room. Ground your feet, lift your outer left hip, bow your left ribs up, and don't just stretch your left arm forward, stretch it forward and down. Get this big crescendo on the left side of your trunk. Keep your legs the same, but take your left hand back down onto the floor and spill back onto your left toes. So everything turns into a plank except for the right leg. And then pull the right ribs in and twist actively to the right. So the chest stays centered, but you're turning your rib cage. And then smooth move into a one-legged plank. Hover your right leg back behind you. Breathe in. Bring your right knee into your chest and round your spine and breathe out. Down dog split. Inhale, lift the right leg up high. Step forward to your right thumb tip and exhale, lunge. Bring your back knee down on the floor, reach your arms forward and up, and inhale. And then grab opposite elbows as you exhale. Left forearm in front. The back bend starts with your back thigh. So notice what happens when you drag your feet towards one another isometrically. They don't move, but there's this action that's happening. Move your tailbone down, and from your left thigh pulling up, pull up your belly. And from your belly pulling up, lift your chest, lift your elbows, and start to lean back into more extension. And then keep back bending, but cactus your arms off to the sides. Think of tilting your elbows forward, your forearms back. Try not to bend at your wrists. And remember, you want to stay long in back bends, long and back there. Good, reach your arms up towards the ceiling, Anjaneyasana. Reach your arms back behind you and interlace your 10 fingers, right thumb on top of your left thumb. Pull your fist down towards the floor and lift your heart up towards the ceiling so you increase the back bend. And try really hard to maintain that extension as you slowly fold down over your right leg. Eventually you will fold, you'll round your back, you'll let your head hang. Think of lifting your shoulder heads up, lifting your fists up, let your head go. Get into your feet, really press well down into your feet and start to straighten your back leg. And then pull your heart forward towards the front of the room so you really need your legs. Keep your hands interlaced and slowly step your left foot forward and fold over your legs. I'll bend my knees a bunch. Lift your shoulders, lift your fists, let your head hang. Let your tummy rest on your thighs. Now your arms are already back behind you, so keep them back there, but let go of your hands, release the interlacing, and take your forearms to fit right back into your calves again, just like you did seated. Elbows hook right back behind your calves. You're grabbing your Achilles tendons. Press your elbows forward, tibias forward, top of the tibias forward, and the tops of your thighs, right at the front tops of your thighs, move that back in space. And even feel like the sitting bones are trying to lift up. But maintain the fold, maintain the connection with the belly and the thighs. And then just take your left fingertips on the floor and really slowly step your left foot to the back of your mat. Keep holding your right leg exactly how you were just holding it. Push your right foot forward until your right leg starts to straighten. And it certainly doesn't have to straighten. You can even actually get a more isolated stretch in your hamstrings if you bend your knee a little bit and anteriorly tilt your pelvis. So think of sticking your booty up. The bottom of your bum lifts up, especially your right butt cheek, flared up, and you'll feel that in the belly of your hamstrings. I'm thinking, I'm hoping. And then turn your 10 toes all the way towards the left and do a wide-legged forward fold. Walk your fingers out into the space in front of your body. Come onto finger tops if you're not already. And then walk your fingers over towards your right foot, just in that direction, and bend your left knee. Bend your left knee nice and wide. Bring it further to the left. Bring your hips further to the left. Even lean into your left ribs more, so you get super curvaceous on the whole left side of your trunk. You can let your head kind of hang and relax into your left arm. Heavy your inner right thigh towards the floor. That's your straight leg. Inner leg towards the ground. Walk your hands to the front of your mat, which is to your right. Turn your 10 toes forward, find a lunge. Plant your hands well and step your right foot forward and come into a plank. Bring your knees down onto the floor and slowly push past Chaturanga Dandasana. You can always modify that or not. Low Cobra, pull your heart forward and up. Move through your knees, through a tabletop, and find downward facing dog. And then come forward into a plank. Turn your heels all the way to the left, so you roll on the outside of your left foot, the inside of your right foot. Reach your right arm up towards the ceiling and find a modified side plank. With your bottom leg, step your leg out in front of you, fall in triangle, stretch your right arm forward towards the front of the room. And then bow your outer right hip up, lean your right ribs up, and reach your right arm so far forward and a little bit down. So you get this big C cut along the whole trajectory on the right side of your body. Keep your legs the same. Take your right hand to the floor and flip back up onto your right toes. Hold it for a second. Punch the hands down. Lift the heart up. Twist your ribs to the left. And then nice and controlled, stretch your left leg back into a one-legged plank pose and breathe in. And bring your left knee into your chest and round your spine and breathe up. Down dog split. Inhale, lift your left leg up high. And then step forward to your left thumb tip and exhale. Bring your back knee down. Reach your arms forward and up. Breathe in. And then grab opposite elbows and breathe out. Right forearm in front if you're counting. Remember that the back bend starts with the back leg, the front thigh, the quads, the hip flexors. Think of dragging your feet towards one another first. Feel that in your right thigh. Then pick up your belly off your hips. Pick up your ribs off your belly. Pick your elbows off of your shoulders. And pick your head up off of your neck. Lean up and back. And then while you're in the back bend, don't lose it, cactus your arms. Think of tilting your elbows forward, the underarms forward. Lean your forearms back. Try not to bend at the wrists. And then reach your arms up, Anjaneyasana. Reach your arms back behind you and interlace your 10 fingers. Left thumb on top. And then pull your fist towards the floor. Lift your heart up. Accentuate the spinal extension. And keep the back bend for as long as you can. It's like you're unfurling over your left thigh. Fold over your leg. Let your head hang. Shoulders are light, fists are light, head is heavy. And then you got to get heavy in your legs. Push through your feet. Start to straighten your right leg. And as you do, pull your heart forward towards the front of the room. So get right into your feet, get right into your roots, ground yourself. And then slowly step your right foot forward, hip width distance apart, and fold over your thighs. Shake out your head if you want to. Lift your shoulders a little bit more if you got that. You can always have a little bend to your elbows. Definitely a bend to your knees, just for today's sequence. And then keep your arms behind you, but reach back and grab your calves with your forearms. Fit them right in there. Drive the elbows forward. Drive the top of your thighs back. Lift your sitting bones up. The bottom part of your bum lifts. And keep holding your left lower leg. Take your right fingertips on the floor and slowly step your right foot back. Can you keep holding that left leg exactly how you had it? Start to push your left foot forward so much that you fold over your thigh. It's a variation of pyramid. Now a little bend in your left knee. And then think of sticking your left butt cheek up more. Flare your booty up. Turn your 10 toes all the way to the left side of the room. Come into a wide-legged forward fold. Walk your fingers out in front of you so your arms look like down dog. Come up onto your fingertips and then walk your fingers over towards your left foot. Keep your fingers pinned, but move your right knee as wide as you can to the right. It's like you feel like a badass ninja. Think of you moving your right knee wider, your hips wider, and heavy the inside of your left thigh down towards the floor. So you feel your left adductor stretching, your groin, your inner leg. Look forward to the front of your mat, that's where you're going. Walk your hands forward, lunge facing forward. Step into a plank. Bring your knees down onto the floor and lower past chaturanga. So maybe modify it one more time. Little baby cobra, maybe it's less baby. Maybe you go a little bit higher. And then down dog. Through a tabletop, up into a down dog. Okay, let's breathe in together. And breathe out. Do that one more time. Inhale. And exhale. We'll do that on the half breath. Come forward into a plank and breathe in. Modified side plank to the left. Keep your feet separated. Reach your left arm up and breathe out. Fallen triangle all at once. Extend your right leg out in front of you. Reach your left arm forward. That's an inhale. And then hands down onto the floor. Flip onto your back toes, but keep your right leg as it is on the exhale. One-legged plank. Take a full breath in. Bring your right knee into your chest. Round your spine and breathe out. Down dog split. Inhale, lift the right leg up. Step forward to your right thumb and breathe out. Back knee goes down. Reach your arms up. Breathe in. And then take your hands and grab your elbows and breathe out. Lift your elbows up and back on the inhale. And then cactus your arms off to the side. Keep back bending as you exhale. Arms up towards the ceiling, Anjaneyasana, breathe in. Arms behind you, interlace your 10 fingers, breathe out. Pull your fists towards the floor on the inhale, increase your back bend. Fold down over your front leg and exhale. Get into your feet, straighten your back leg, breathe in. Pull your heart forward, get off your thigh. Step your left foot forward and fold over your legs and breathe out. Let's do this twice. Bend your knees, pull your heart forward, breathe in, it's like you're skiing down a hill. And then fold down over straighter legs and breathe out. One more time, bend your knees, pull your heart forward, take an inhale, and then fold down over your legs as you exhale. Arms are already back behind you. Take your forearms and clip them to the back of your calves. Just like we've been doing, elbows behind the calf muscles, grab your Achilles tendons, all that stuff. This time, let your left fingertips go down to the floor and find standing splits. Stretch your left leg straight back behind you. Push intensely into your right foot. Really find your ground. Hug your outer right hip to the left, just like we did in tree pose. And then straighten your lifted leg. Turn the knee down, which is really like saying turn your inner left thigh up, and use your left butt cheek as a way to get the leg higher, as high as you can go. Now can you keep holding your right calf just as we've been doing and slowly transition your left foot all the way to the back of your mat. Land your toes, and when they land, take a big breath in, pull your heart forward. Straighten your right leg and fold and breathe out. You can totally keep a bend to your knee. 2 more times, bend your right knee, take a full breath in. Straighten your right leg and breathe out. You can press your elbow forward the whole time into the leg. Do it one more time. Bend the right knee, take a big breath in, open your chest up a little bit. Straighten your right leg and fold and breathe out. Turn your 10 toes to the left side of the room, do a wide-legged forward fold. Walk your fingertips out in front of you, just like you're doing down dog. This time, walk your fingers over towards your right foot again, but Take your left arm underneath your right arm and grab your outer right ankle real good. Then bend your left knee, shift everything away from the foot that you're holding, and then start to walk your right hand, your free hand, back to where it was before, into that down dog position out in front of your head. Lift the right shoulder, it will give you more space. That's the top shoulder. Pull your heart away from your groin. Remember, find a back bend in the fold. And then turn your left ribs to your right ribs. See if you can look underneath your own arm. Release what you got. Walk your hands to the front of your mat. Find a lunge facing forward. Step your right foot back, come into plank, and breathe in. You can always bend your knees for this, or do Chaturanga Dandasana as you breathe out. Find up dog, or a cobra. Breathe in. A back bend. Downward facing dog. Breathe out. And take an inhale. And take an exhale. Do one more together. Inhale. And exhale. On the half breath. Plank. Breathe in. Turn everything to the right. Side plank. Breathe out. Keep your feet separated. Right arm up. And then fallen triangle. Left leg out in front of you. Reach your right arm forward. Breathe in. Pull your ribs up. Do all the stuff. Keep the leg the same. Come into right hand down. Flip onto your right toes. Just like a plank, except for the left leg. Now go one-legged plank pose. Breathe in. Bring your left knee into your chest and round your spine as you breathe out. Down dog split. Inhale. Step forward to your left thumb tip and find a lunge. And breathe out. Back knee goes down. Reach your arms up. Inhale. Grab opposite elbows. Exhale. Right forearm in front. Pull your elbows up and breathe in. Go up and back. Stay back there and cactus your arms as you exhale. Arms up, Anjaneyasana. Breathe in. Arms behind you, interlace your 10 fingers, left thumb on top. Breathe out. Pull your fist down, lift your heart up, and inhale. Fold down over your front thigh, and exhale. Back leg lifts off the floor, your chest goes forward on the breath in. Step your right foot forward and fold, and breathe out. 2 times, bend your knees, inhale, pull the heart forward. Fold, that's an exhale. Maybe the legs straighten a bit. Another one, bend your knees, take a full breath in, pull your heart forward. Fold down over your legs and exhale. Release your arms, hook your forearms back behind your calves. Make a good fit, elbows, Achilles, all that stuff. Take your right fingertips onto the floor. You can take a wider stance. Stretch your right leg straight back behind you and do a standing splits. Drive your elbow forward. Drive the front of your left thigh back. Make your lifted leg straight. Lift from your inner right thigh as high as you can get the leg. You should feel your right butt cheek contract quite a bit. Keep holding your leg as you are. Step your right foot all the way to the back of your mat and find your right big toe. Breathe in, pull your heart forward. It's almost like you're trying to do a little back bend there. And then straighten both your legs and breathe out. Keep pressing your elbow forward. 2 more times. Bend your left knee. Breathe in. No back bend. Straighten your left leg, fold. Breathe out. 1 more. In. Last one. Out. Keep your legs straight. Turn your 10 toes all the way to the right. Walk your fingers out in front of you. Nice long stance, like your arms are in a down dog position. Walk your fingers over towards your left foot. Take your right arm this time. Sneak it underneath your left arm. Grab the outside of your left shin, nice and low by the ankle, and keep that as you bend your right knee. Widen your right knee, shift your hips right. And then keep that and start to walk your left arm back to where you had it before, like a down dog position, and maybe even further to the right. I got a wall in my way, still works. And then remember, the left shoulder lifting will give you more space. Pull your heart away from your groin, and then turn around all that new space you got. And turn the right side to your left side, right torso to left torso. Spin yourself. And then walk your hands to the front of your mat, which is to your left. Take your hands on the floor nice and firmly. Step your left foot back, come into a plank. Chaturanga if you like that. Up dog, breathe in. Down dog, breathe out. We'll walk the hands all the way back to the feet. Come into a chair, bend your knees, reach your arms towards the ceiling. Wrap your right arm underneath your left arm. Lift your right knee up and wrap your right leg over your left leg. And wrap once or twice, you choose. Press through your bottom foot, you'll feel way more stable. Squeeze your arms off to the sides. Take a nice big seat with your butt, but get as tall as you can in your spine. And then unravel, reach your arms up towards the ceiling. Bring your right knee up towards the sky. Bring your left arm forward and your right arm back. Twist towards the right. And then grab the outside of your right foot with your left hand. Even if you're not going for it today, like even if you're not going to straighten the leg, but you can. Hug your outer left hip to the right. Push your foot into your hand wherever you are and get as tall as you can be. And then keep holding your foot. Bend your knee, look forward, and come into a figure four. So you can take your right hand on the inner knee and your left hand on your inner ankle, just extra kickstands. You can stay there. You can fold down over your figure four leg and take your fingertips down to the floor if you want. You can do an arm balance if you're fancy. And then steer your hips off to the right. So you got to compact, just like we said in tree, just like we said in standing splits. This left hip, your outer left hip, the standing leg hip, has to hug to the right. For a lot of us, you'll feel a big burn there if you do it well. And then press your outer right ankle down into your thigh and see if you can get your bum to bend just a little bit closer to the floor. There's so many variations. Like I'm gonna wrap my elbow pit around my foot and then hold the shin with my hand. That gives me a nice big sturdy base. Do whatever makes you like actually really very stable. Okay, and then let's come into the fold. Bring your right foot down, fold over your legs. Roll up into a chair pose. Reach your arms up. This time bring your left arm underneath your right arm. Do eagle in your arms. Do eagle in your legs. Lift your left leg up and wrap it around your right leg. Once or twice. Push into the four corners of your right foot. Sit your tush down. And then with your bum down, lift your elbows and your head up. And feel like you're trying to pull your elbows and your knees apart from one another. And you'll actually find the center because you'll draw in. And then unravel your arms to the ceiling, lift your left knee up into your chest, stand on one leg. Reach your right arm forward and your left arm back behind you. Grab the outside of your foot, even if you're not going to straighten your leg. You don't have to straighten your leg. Who cares about straightening your leg? If you want to straighten it, go for it. Hug your outer right hip in, just like we were saying. Push your foot and your hand against one another. It just gives you more power. Lift your heart up and turn yourself around. And then keep holding your foot. Look forward and figure four your outer left ankle to the front of your right thigh, above the knee obviously. And then you take your hands on the inside of your knee and on the inside of your ankle. And then if you want to go deeper, if you want to fold, take your fingertips on the floor. Take your time and do what you want here. Pull your outer right hip back, but then push your foot through the floor so you feel your outer right hip contract. Push the top ankle down into your thigh. And then start to bring your bum towards the floor, keeping all of that good alignment. bring your left foot down onto the floor and fold over your legs. Let's go forward into a plank. Go past chaturanga. You can use your knees or not, but go to the floor. And then bring your left arm off to the right as far as it goes. I'm sorry, your left arm way off to the left. Tent your right fingertips onto the floor close to your chest and roll over onto your left side. And then see if you can walk your left arm even a little bit further back and kind of stack yourself really well on your left hip. Push your left palm into the floor and feel like your outer left shoulder, actually the front of your left shoulder more, is lifting up away from the ground. This will be a substantial stretch for most folks. If you want a little bit more, you could float your right knee up, grab a hold of it with your hand. If you're holding the leg, hold it from the inside. And if you want to, you could yogi toe lock your right big toe and stretch your leg towards the ceiling. So we stretch the outer leg, Utthita Hasta Padangusasana 3. This is kind of like the B variation. Or a Vishnu pose, some type of hybrid with a pec stretch. If you had a right tailbone, you'd wrap your outer right tailbone back towards the leg that's on the floor. And then stretch your inner leg. After all the stretching that we did on the outer leg. Okay, release your foot very slowly and roll back down onto your tummy. We'll do the other side, so look to your left. Outstretch your right arm way off to the side. Make sure it's a little forward of the shoulder, which I should have said on the first side. Tent your left fingertips out in front of your shoulder and roll over onto your right side. And then do all that little nuanced stuff where you walk your right arm further back behind you and actually tuck yourself a little bit better onto your right side. So that's your ribs, but it's also your outer hip that's on the ground. And this could be plenty. Push into your right hand, just a little bit, and lift your front right shoulder away from the ground, even if that's just a sense of direction. But pressing the hand down will tone the muscles as you stretch them, which is a really good way to get mobile. If you bring your left knee up into the air, hold from the inside, or grab your big toe, you can progress this. If you had a left tailbone, you'd wrap your left tailbone back. Think of pulling your inner left thigh up towards the ceiling. Pull your inner left knee, your inner ankle, all up towards the sky. So after stretching all the lateral component of the leg, stretching the medial component of the leg, the inside of the leg. Okay, bring the leg down slowly and then roll back down onto your front. Take your hands next to your ribs like you're going to do a baby cobra. And you can totally just do a baby cobra if you want. So pull your heart up and back. Pull your shoulders wide and back. And then this time bend your knees and reach back and grab the outside of your ankles or the outsides of your feet. Pin your pubis into the floor. Kick your legs back behind you and float your heart up. And then land in a little baby cobra. Land your hands, land the tops of your feet. And then press yourself back into an extended child's pose. And even just let your arms sweep back behind you and be in a real deal Balasana. Okay, and then come on up. Stand up on your shins. Take your hands on your hips with your thumbs on the top of your butt and your forefingers wrapped around the side of your hips. Press the tops of your feet down very strongly. Move your thumbs down and your forefingers up. So it's like you're doing the action of a posterior tilt, but you're probably just going to find neutral when you're in the back bend. So as you go down with the bum, go up with the ribs, up with the chest, up with the shoulders, and then back with the shoulders. And there's a wonderful place to stay. You can even take your hands a little higher up into your mid-back and come back a little further. If you want to go all the way back, then go for it. Grab a hold of your heels. Feel good after all the folds. Shins press. Even if you grabbed your heels, you have imaginary hands on your bum and it's scooping it down. Get out of the low back. So physically pull yourself out of the lumbar spine. Lift your mid back, lift your chest. And then come on back up. Find the horizon with your eyes and sit down onto your shins for a moment. Take big breaths. Okay, lie down on your back. Bring your feet on the floor, bottoms of the feet, knees bend. We're gonna do 2 bridges, and they're gonna be different. They're gonna be more glute bridges, inner thigh, outer thigh, to tone some of the musculature after all the stretching. So walk your feet all the way together, so your inner ankles touch, your inner knees touch. And then you can reach your arms up towards the ceiling, pull your outer shoulders off the floor. So again, I guess it's bridge with no arms too. So outer shoulders off the floor, squeeze your inner legs together a lot and slowly start to tilt your tailbone so much forward that your bum starts to lift. And then your sacrum starts to lift, and then your lumbar starts to lift, and then some of your thoracic spine, your mid-back starts to lift. So it's all about your inner legs and your bum contracting, and has nothing to do with the back bend. As you press your feet down, as you squeeze your legs together consistently the whole time, feel like you're trying to drag your heels back towards your butt. So you should feel the back of your legs tone. Another thing, we should contract after all the stretching. And then can you do 10 little pulses? Move your tailbone so much further forward and then relax it a bit, and then really root the tailbone forward, relax it a bit, and continue on your own. The whole time squeezing the legs together, dragging the heels back, tucking and releasing, tucking and releasing. Should feel a good amount of burn in your legs. And then keep the tailbone tucked and see if you can segment down 1 vertebra at a time from your thoracic spine. So if you were counting, it would be like T11, T12, L1, L2, L3, L4, L5, as if you could do that, you know? And sacrum, and then bum. Whew. Let's bring the soles of the feet together. Let your arms rest off to the side for just a second. And like cactus your arms or something. It's a doozy. So that was, I hope that you felt that in your inner legs. Now we're gonna go outer legs. So we'll do bridge with Baddha Konasana legs. Again, reach your arms up towards the ceiling. You can always do robot arms if you want if you need a little bit more oomph. You could also just have your arms off to the side, absolutely, especially for some of the stuff we'll do here. So your choice. I'm gonna go arms up and challenge myself. Move your tailbone forward a lot, so you should feel your lumbar actually go into the floor, and widen your knees. Okay, and then again, segment 1 vertebra at a time. Slowly move your tailbone so far forward that you feel just your bum lift. And then just the lower part of your lumbar. And then the upper part of your lumbar, and so on. And you're just coiling yourself up 1 vertebra at a time until you're as far as you can go up. And I always like to say with this kind of end range stuff is you want to find where you think you need to stop and just go a little smidge further than you think you can, because I bet you there's more there. And then there literally is more magic there. That's where it happens. That's where you get strong where you're not strong. Okay, check this out. You're gonna slowly bring your left shin all the way over towards the left until the shin actually lands on the ground, the outer shin. Push into it very strongly, and you should feel your outer left butt cheek contract a bit, or maybe a bunch. And now you're catting your spine. You're literally tucking your tailbone, corseting the belly in, and push a little harder into your shin. I know you can do it. Press, press, press. And then slowly come back up with control, and we'll do the other side right away. Bring the outer right shin to slowly flop down onto the floor, all the way down, all the way to the knee. And then press your outer shin strongly into the floor. Ribs in, tailbone forward. Get out of any back bend. You can even feel like you're trying to outreach your arms a little further up, but do just press your right shin into the floor just for a little smidge more. And then slowly come on back up. Now can you segment, if you're still with me, can you segment down from top back to low back? I was trying to find each individual vertebra and punch it into the ground, and then punch the one below it into the ground, and then punch the one into below, and so on and so on and so on. It's very hard, especially towards the end. Okay, whew. Take your feet down onto the ground. Take some deep breaths. Okay, to finish, it's gonna be in stages. You can stop along the way whenever you want, okay? Take just a longer Shavasana. We need some good time with the sequence. So first option, good old happy baby. Wonderful pose. See what happens when you do a little nuance to it by just plantar flexing your feet. Just move your feet up towards the ceiling. And just note, like, that's not a big difference at this point. But it will be if you continue. So you can stay here 100%, and then while the rest of us do some other things, you can just lie down and luxuriate in Shavasana, make yourself comfortable. So stage 2 would be to keep this general position, but bring your legs a little closer in and do that thing where you fit your armpits right into your knees and your knees into your armpits. And then again, just like we were doing, segmenting the spine, roll your tailbone so far forward that you start to roll onto your top back, towards your top back, further and further, more vertebra coming off the ground, more and more and more and more coming off the ground, until you come into this variation of Karnapedasana. If you're in your neck and it hurts your neck, come on out, roll out, lie down on your back, and you are good to go. If it feels good, stay here. Okay, we can continue with this if you want. Bring yourself to the front end of class when we were sitting on our butt. So keep everything the same, but let your arms slip back behind your calves. So your elbows hook into your calf muscles and your palms are grabbing your Achilles tendons. We did that a bunch in class. Keep that, or cross your wrists and grab the front of your shins with your palms. Now your legs will kind of compress against your head, and that's exactly what you want, as long as it doesn't hurt. But maybe you can't even hear me anymore because this plugs your ears, and that's part of the pose. Whatever it is, don't let it take your breath away. If you breathe a little bit more shallowly, that makes perfect sense. But if you're hyperventilating and it starts to become at all exhaustive, again, if there's any pain, if there's any discomfort, you just come on out. So it could stay here like that forever. If that's you and you want to stay longer, these inversions are meant to be longer. They're much longer than that. So if you want to stay there, pretty please, just stay right there. You have so much more time. I'm going to roll myself out real slow. And you can do that whole thing one vertebra at a time if you're with me. Still in the inversion, pretty please stay there. Whenever it's your time, find Shavasana. I have the beautiful pitter patter of rain as my soundtrack. Here in Los Angeles, it's been raining. Whatever your soundtrack is, focus on it. Dive into the things that are currently happening now and pay attention to them. Pay attention to all the things that are happening currently, right now, here now. if you're still in that Karnapedasana, you can stay there for as long as you want, find Shavasana after. I'm going to come out of my Shavasana. Just stay where you are if you want to. But wherever you are, whatever you're doing, I hope that this practice offers you a little bit of comfort and a little bit of connection. And the light in me recognizes and bows to the light in all of you sincerely. Namaste.